So that's all the basic lessons finished, and now I'm going to work on 2 complete studies using the techniques that we've learnt and putting them all together to show you how I build them up and how I would use them to build up a final piece. This one I'm going to look at now is a marble. I've just been thinking about which techniques I'm going to be using in which areas. So before I started this, I was experimenting on a little piece of scrap paper just with the solvent and the masking tape methods, and just using the pencils I'm going to be using, discovered that a couple of the colours that I was intending using on here don't dissolve properly in the solvent. So I just wanted to stress the importance really of doing little test swatches like this before you start on a finished piece, because sometimes some different pigments and different types of pencils will work in slightly different ways. It's just good to check before you begin. So first of all, I'm going to use my embossing tool. I'm going to pick out these little areas where the bubbles are out of the dark blue. That also is something I've just discovered when I was experimenting, that the this particular blue doesn't lift out very well with the masking tape. Not masking tape, sorry, with the Scotch tape. So doing this is going to save us a job later. I'm not too worried about these tiny little dots. I might put 1 or 2 in here, but the tiny ones we can pick out later with the scalpel. I'm working on Bristol board, and I'm using Prismacolor pencils for this demonstration. I'm going to start actually with this yellow band in here. And I'm going to be working all the way through with very, very light pressure glazes of all the colours. See what I'm doing there? Just cleaning my eraser before I use it on something on the picture. Sometimes it can pick up little bits of pencil and you can transfer them by accident where you don't want them to go. So it's just worth getting in the habit of making sure you do that before you use it every time. This line drawing that I've got in here I did do by gridding up the photograph from the original, just because there's so many little intricate. It looks like a simple object, but when you actually break it down there's so many little intricate bits inside it. I just wanted to make sure they were all exactly in the right place. I'm going to take this little area of purple over here as well. What I'm doing here is just deciding it needs another colour over the top, and it's not. I thought it would work by itself, but it's not. It is again worth just having a little bit of scrap paper with you when you're working on something, maybe a commission or a piece that you want to be a finished piece at the end. That's better. Now I'm going to come in with Imperial Violet, and I'm going to put in this really dark area of blue, but only lightly at first. And this is the area that I'm going to be using the solvent on. Just noticed a little error in my drawing there. And actually I'm going to correct that line a little bit. I'm not keen on that curve, so I'm just going to adjust it. When you're working on something that's this intricate, you can get a bit overwhelmed by staring at the same thing all the time. That's when I start breaking it down into smaller chunks. So seeing just the shape of this area here as one part. Because you're working so slowly and sort of painstakingly that it can seem like it's going to take forever. And it's not a quick medium. So sometimes it just helps to break it down into little sections.